Hi, I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. One of the things about moving is picking up all the pieces and putting them someplace where you can find them again. Now, all these things want to go back in this drawer, but I don't think they all deserve to. Some of this stuff is things that I started a long time ago and said, okay, when I get time, I'll work on them. Well, I'm pretty much bound in the house and can't do anything seriously as far as working. So, cleaning up some adjustable auger bits might be a worthwhile pastime. This Irwin number 22 right here, that's pretty cool. Those are really good drill bits. They were made in the day when Irwin actually did something. Got 3 of these things, and I cleaned and sharpened 2 of them. This one I left in the drawer because I really didn't need a 3rd one sharpened up. This is a Greenlee. Tough old bird. Greenlee was famous for making auger bits that would cut through a nail. This one's been around a while, but I don't think it's cut through too many nails just based on the shape that the tang is in. Usually if somebody beat them hard, that tang is all chewed up. This one I only have the one cutter for. And it'll go out to about, maybe 1.5 inches. This one is a clean cutter. Keen cutter. Said that wrong. Keen cutter is a hardware store that sold this brand. It wasn't a company that made keen cutters. It was a hardware store that said, okay, we're going to have keen cutter saws, we're going to have keen cutter planes, we're going to have keen cutter chisels. They make keen cutter everything. But they're nice tools. Well made. You can tell adjustable auger bits were either beat to death or never used. And I think this one was maybe drilled 1 or 2 holes. Most of the time it's set in the toolbox and gravitated down to the bottom and sat there and never did any drilling. The reason I say that is it's still got the nicker on it on both sides. Usually this nicker's gone. They'll try to sharpen that thing and file that right off, completely gone. As long as you leave this nicker, it'll still cut, but with that nicker gone, it doesn't cut as nicely on the smaller diameter holes. And I got a slug of them. This is just the ones that were in the drawer sitting on top. Got these, which are, from what I understand, they were mostly used in boat building. And they drilled frame pieces and keels and really long, deep holes. Once you start them into the hole, they drill very nice and straight. It's usually easier to start them with an auger bit and then switch to one of these because they don't start so good. Once they're down in the hole and about that far, they start cutting and they track along pretty well. I've sharpened them and tried all kinds of things, and some of them work and some of them don't. Now this one, either somebody broke off the tip on it or else it was made that way. And I know that there were a few made without the auger, without the snail on the end of it. Well, I don't know about snail. I always called it the pilot screw. Snail is something that other people have called that screw, and names are names, and whatever works for you when you're talking. This is a Ford auger BLT C-0 C-D- Holyoke, Massachusetts. Don't quote me on the Holyoke. Hollloke is how I make it out. Now, I don't know about the Ford either. That might be something like Milford or Gifford or who knows. But since it starts at that radius. It's probably Ford auger. Ford Auger Bit Company. There we go. Now I get it in the screen on the phone. I can actually see it. Holyoke, Massachusetts. Place where people screw these up as they try and sharpen that top surface. And they end up filing away the screw, pilot screw, snail, whatever you want to call it. The actual place you're supposed to sharpen it is on this face here. Down inside there. And you can sharpen this, but you got to be real careful. You don't want to lose that. That's what makes it cut. Otherwise, it's just going to start splintering. This goes in and shaves away the edge. That's the only cutting edge. This edge over here just follows around and supports that edge. So it's only got one cutting edge. You file down inside there, sharpen that up, and use a safe edge file so you don't take off this nicker. Because once you take off that nicker, it's pretty much done. These, of course, are for the Skill Impact Hammer drill. Big old monster that I got out there in the workshop. That's what I used to anchor the building down with. It'll go up to a 2-inch hole. This is the biggest diameter bit I've got. And that's 1 1/8 inches. It cuts. I've drilled a hole in the rock with it. It's not exactly fast, but it does cut. And since I got that diamond grinder, I can sharpen these carbide bits pretty well. When you got them sharp, and you keep them sharp, they cut quite quickly. Well, that's enough talking about the drill bits. I got a bunch more. There's these are for the beam drills. I got a batch of these because I got a batch of beam drills. I got 3 or 4 beam drills. One of them is in working order, and the other 3 need a piece or 2. One of them needs to be completely rebuilt. I may get it done, I may not. We'll just have to see. I'm down in the basement, working my way through RSV, whatever the heck that is. Respiratory something or other. Basically, it's a bad cough that you got for a long, long time. But I'm working my way through it, trying to stay away from people. That's the big thing. Lydia went and got a immunization shot for it. We'll see if that works. She's been coughing longer than I have, so we'll see if that's... I think she's already had it and worked her way through it. If you have any suggestions for new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.
This video is not to be viewed by anyone under the age of 13 in the U.S. or 16 in the European Union without the express written permission of the parents or the legal guardians of the underage person. Such written permission must be on file at the local government entity in charge of enforcing the rules and regulations established by the FTC. Anyone violating these terms is admitting by default that they hold harmless the owners and operators of this channel. Any and all questions should be addressed to your local branch of the FTC.